everyone, this is Madhavi Karmodi, Assistant Professor in CSC Department. In this lecture, I will discuss about circular queue deletion and display operations. In the previous video, we have already seen what is a circular queue and how to perform the insertion operation on circular queue. Let us see the deletion operation. Just assume that my circular queue size is 5. If the circular queue size is 5, we can insert 5 elements into the circular queue. Okay, as we know very well about this, whenever the circular queue is empty, the front and rear pointer points to -1. So in circular queue also, just like in linear queue, insertion will be done from the rear end and deletion will be done from the front end. Let us see the code also parallelly. Deletion operation is also called as dequeue operation. As we know very well about this, let us see the delete operation. So if you want to delete the element from the circular queue, first of all, we need to verify whether the circular queue is empty or not. Because if circular queue is empty, we cannot perform the deletion operation. So let us check whether the circular queue is empty or not. So here the condition is if front pointer and rear pointer is pointing -1, that indicates that there are no elements in the queue. So if there are no elements in the queue, queue is empty. The circular queue empty condition, we are calling it as underflow condition. If it is underflow condition, deletion is not possible. Front equal to -1 and, or here you can also write or, rear equal to -1. Okay, if front equal to 1 or rear equal to 1 or front equal to 1 and rear equal to 1, then printf circular queue is empty. If circular queue is empty, deletion is not possible. If circular queue is not empty, if circular queue contains some elements, okay, let us see the these cases. Just assume that I have already one element in the circular queue. In the previous video, I already explained how to insert the elements, and while performing the insertion, what pointer we need to increment, right? Let us assume that I have one element in the queue, circular queue. If there is one element in the circular queue, both front and rear pointers points to the same element. If there is one element in the circular queue, front and rear, both the pointers points to the same location. Okay, just based upon this case, we will write, now see, now if you want to delete that element, so after deletion of that element, automatically circular queue becomes empty, right? If the circular queue contains one element, both front and rear pointer points to the same element itself. If you delete that element, automatically circular queue becomes empty. So this is one of the condition we need to verify, whether the circular queue contains one element or multiple elements. Okay, just we will write the same condition here. Else if front equal to rear. Front equal to rear means your circular queue contains one element. So if circular queue contains one element, how to perform the deletion operation? Simply delete the element. Okay, so here in circular queue also the deletion will be done from the front end only. So whatever element that is pointed by front pointer, that element only we can delete it. Here just print the message %d deleted. Okay, here I am writing CQ of front. That means whatever element that is pointed by front pointer, that element is deleted. Okay, next. Okay, after deleting that element, automatically circular queue becomes empty, right? So after deleting that element, we should make our front and rear pointers to -1. Okay, so this is the case if the circular queue contains one element. CQ contains one element. Okay, now see the next case. If the circular queue contains multiple elements, that means the circular queue is not empty and circular queue is not having one element. Okay, see that case. Just assume that I have multiple elements in the circular queue. 20, 30, 40. Just assume that 4 elements I have in the circular queue. So first element is pointed by front pointer and last element is pointed by rear pointer. Okay, if you have multiple elements in the circular queue, how to delete that element? So here the procedure is, first delete the element from the location. Here first delete the element from the location. After deletion, increment the front pointer by 1, or after the deletion, move your front pointer to the next front element. Right? Now see, in this example, I want to delete 10. Now queue is not empty. Okay, circular queue is not empty, so this condition fails. Then I will come to the else if. Here queue is not having, that means front and rear is not equal to, is not same. So this condition will also fail. Now we will come to the else block. Here in else block, we are checking positions of front and rear. So here in else block, front is pointing 0th position and rear is pointing 3rd position. That indicates that there are few elements in the circular queue. So in this situation, now I want to delete 10. So how to delete 10? Or after deletion of 10, what I need to do? After deletion of 10, we should move front pointer to the next position, right? So here, first delete the element. So how to delete the element? You just print message like /n %ld is deleted. Is deleted. Okay, so always front element is deleted, right? So queue of front. So after deletion of 20, I should move this front pointer to the next front element, right? So here, if I write front ++, then after deletion of last element, front ++, just assume that here also I have one more element. Here also I have one more element. That means the rear will be in last position. Just assume that if I write front ++ here, front ++, then what happens after deletion of 10? Before deletion of 10, the front is 0 and rear is 4th index. After deletion of 10, front becomes 1. Okay. After deletion of 20, front becomes 2. After deletion of 30, front becomes 3. Because front ++. After deletion of 40, front becomes 4. Front becomes 4. Now after deletion of 50, according to this statement, front ++. So front becomes 5. But here in our circular queue, there is no index with 5, right? So this statement will fail here. So instead of this statement, what we need to write here is, in circular queue, last position is circularly connected to the first position. So after deletion of the last element, I should make front pointer points to 0th position. That is the reason why. Actually this condition is okay. It will work very well if before all the elements deletion. But if we coming to the last element, this may not be the good statement. That is the reason why instead of this statement, I am modifying the same statement with one more statement like this. I am assigning front index to front plus 1 mod size. Okay, I am just modifying that statement with this. Now try to understand the meaning of this statement. Just assume that I am deleting 10. After deletion of 10, before deletion of 10, front equal to 0. Now just check this statement. After deletion of 10, what is the front pointer position? 0 plus 1 mod 5. So 1 mod 5. 1 mod 5 means 1. So front becomes 1. Right? So front moves to the first position. Just assume that now I want to delete 20 also. Now front index is 1. If I delete 20, next position of front is 1 plus 1 mod 5. That is 2 mod 5. 2 mod 5 means 2. So front moves to the second index. Now I want to delete 30. Okay. Now front position is 2. 2 plus 1 mod 5. So 3 mod 5. So that means 3. 3 will be the next position. Now I want to delete 40. Okay. After deletion of 40, again front value is now 3. 3 plus 1 mod 5. So that is 4 mod 5. 4 mod 5 means 4. Front moves to the fourth position. Now after deletion of 50, now the front position value is 4. After deletion of 50, 4 plus 1 mod 5. So 5 mod 5. 5 mod 5 means 0. So after deletion of last element, automatically front pointer value is set to 0 with this statement. Okay. So this is the statement for moving. This is similar to front plus plus, but front plus plus statement fails when you delete the last element from the circular queue. That is the reason why I am just modifying that statement with this. Okay. So with this, two things are over. Deletion of the element and moving the front pointer. So simply close the else block and close the delete function. Right. Now just trace this code once. Okay. So here, if you want to perform the deletion operation, we need to check whether the queue is empty or not. We know very well about how to check the queue empty condition. If circular queue front pointer is pointing to -1 and rear pointer is also pointing to -1, we can say that circular queue is empty. Okay, instead of writing two statements, you can also write only one statement, either front equal to 1 or rear equal to -1. Okay, so else suppose if your circular queue is not empty, if your circular queue is having one element, then delete the element. After deletion of element, automatically circular queue becomes empty. That is the reason why make front and rear pointers as -1. Okay, now third case is if the circular queue contains multiple elements, contains more than one element, then what to do? First delete that element, then move the front pointer to the next position. So to move the front pointer to the next position, here we will use this statement, front equal to front plus 1 mod size. So this is the way to delete the element from the circular queue. So with one more example, you just trace the code, you can easily understand. So next operation is display operation. Pause this one. Let us see the circular queue display function. Take the same example. If our circular queue contains 5 elements. Okay, now I want to print all the elements of the circular queue one by one. So here in circular queue, always the front pointer points to the first element and rear pointer points to the last element. So I should not move front and rear pointers, because if I move front pointer, it is very difficult to find out the first element in the circular queue. If I move a rear pointer, it's very difficult to find out the last element. That is the reason why don't move front and rear pointers. Take additional operator. Okay. Assign that additional operator to the front position, that is first position. From there, start moving that I. While moving, you just print it and move to the next element. That is the concept we need to follow while displaying all the elements of the circular queue. Okay, let us see the code. So directly I'll write the code. With the code, I'll try to explain what are the elements that are printing in the circular queue. Okay, so void display. Here I am not passing any parameters. Next, if you want to display the contents of the circular queue, first of all your circular queue should contain some elements. If your circular queue is empty, display operation is not possible. Nothing is there to print the elements. Now see, check whether circular queue is empty or not. If front equal to -1 and rear equal to -1, that indicates that circular queue is empty. Okay, if circular queue is empty, display operation is not possible. If circular queue contains some elements, then only we can print the elements. See the else condition. Okay, here I can use while loop for printing all the elements, or I can use do while, or we can also use for loop. If you see the previous videos, in linear queue, we have used for loop for printing all the elements of the queue. Okay, we will try with another loop. So now I will use some other loop while. So before writing the condition, first I need to take one variable, right, for moving from one position to another position. So here I am taking the variable I. Okay, initially I should start printing first element. So that is the reason why initialize front value to the I, so that the printing can be started from the first position. So here I am initializing to front. What is the front index? 0. So here the I value starts. From here the I value is starting. Move I value one by one. At the same time print the value. Now see, here I am writing the condition like while I greater than or equal to rear, I greater than or equal to rear. Just check this condition once. What is the I value now? I value is 0. What is the rear value? Rear value is 4. Okay. I value is 0. 0 greater than or equal to 4. Sorry, here we need to write not equal to. Okay. So 0 not equal to 4. That means condition satisfied. We will not enter into this loop. Sorry. So we will enter into this loop. So inside the loop, what we need to do? We need to write the print statement. So printf circular queue elements are okay. Now next thing is we need to move to the next position. Again we will use the same condition. I equal to I plus 1 mod n. Sorry, mod size. Mod size. So here what is the I position? 0. Okay. So queue elements are now okay, we will write this printf statement before while loop so that it will be printed only once. Circular queue elements R. Okay, inside the for loop, print the value CQ of I. Print the value, then move the I pointer to the next position. Okay, now in this case 10 will be printed. 10 will be printed. Then we will I pointer moves to the next position. Check this condition. I equal to I plus 1, 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 mod 5. So 1 mod 5. 1 mod 5 means 1. So I value will be 1. So I pointer comes to this position. Now I not equal to rare. What is I value? 1. 1 is not equal to rare. What is the rare? 4. So condition satisfied. If condition satisfied, again we will enter into this loop. Printf CQ of I. CQ of I means CQ of 1. CQ of 1 is 20. 20 will be printed. Next I equal to I plus 1 mod size. Now I equal to 1 plus 1 mod 5. Mod 5. So 1 plus 1 mod 5 means 2 mod 5. 2 mod 5 value is 2. Now I value is 2. Okay. So I pointer moves to second index. Okay. So with that second index, again we will verify the condition, while loop. 2 not equal to 4. Condition satisfied. We will enter into this loop. Then CQ of 2 value will be printed on the screen. CQ of 2 is 30. Okay. Next I value will be incremented. I equal to 2 plus 1 mod 5. So 3 mod 5, that is 3. Now the I becomes 3. I become 3. So here with I value as 3, we will check this condition again. 3 not equal to 4. Condition satisfied. We will enter into this loop. Percentile D of CQ. CQ is C of 3. C of 3 value is 40. 40 will be printed. Next I value will be incremented. Now I value equal to 3 plus 1 mod 5. So 4 mod 5. 4 mod 5 means 4. So I becomes 4. Now I moves to 4. Now with that condition we will check the condition. I value is 4. 4 not equal to 4. Here the condition failed. Okay. 4 is equal to 4. So this condition failed. If this condition failed, we will not enter into this while loop. Right? We will come out of this while loop. But here, after coming out of this while loop, how many elements are printed? 10, 20, 30, 40. Then what about 50? 50 is not yet printed. So that is the reason why what we need to do is, after come out of this statement, write one more printf statement. Printf percentile D CQ of I. Now what is the CQ? CQ is I. CQ of 4. CQ of 4 is 50. So 50 will be printed on the screen. So like this we can write the condition. If you don't want to write this printf statement separately again after the while loop, you just use the do while. Or if you are comfortable with the for loop, you can write the for loop also for moving I value to the till the end of the list or till the end of the circular queue. So this is the way to print all the elements of the circular queue. Once this is over, all the elements are printed, right? Now close the else block and close the display function. Okay, let us see this display function once again. First, we are taking one more extra pointer because we should not move front pointer and rear pointers. Front should be in the first position, rear should be in the last position. So we should not move front and rear. That is the reason why we are taking one more extra variable I. Okay, from the first element we need to start printing all the elements. That is the reason why I am assigning I value to front. Okay, next, if you want to display something, compulsory queue should have some elements. So check whether the queue is empty or not. If queue is empty, we cannot print any elements. So how to check the empty condition? If front equal to -1 and rear equal to -1, that indicates that circular queue is empty. Suppose if your circular queue is not empty, then CQ elements are. Okay, now check the condition whether I value is not equal to rear position or not. If this condition is true, print all the elements. So this loop will execute for all the elements except the last element. So if you want to print the last element also, then write the print one more statement after this while loop. So after printing this while loop, then that all the elements, by the time this printf statement is executed, all the elements will be printed on the screen. So this is about display function of circular queue. So in this lecture, we have discussed about deletion operation and display operation. In the previous lecture or previous video, we have discussed about insertion operation. This is all about circular queue operations. Thank you.